We are in the age of word salad, not the information age, not the digital age. It's the age of word salad, where the leaders of the most powerful countries in the world, in particular the United States, have candidates or potential candidates that want to run the country that can't string a coherent sentence together. Now, not saying that they're unintelligent. I'm saying that it's possible that they've educated themselves so much that they haven't bothered to take in the world around them and use real world experience to have a real perspective on things or have their own ideology. You see, I think what's happened is people have been so indoctrinated in education that the education systems aren't really encouraging them to think for themselves. And so now, 10, 20 years later down the road, I guess you could say in my generation, maybe the 90s as well, they're now running countries and being voted in because they know how to campaign. I give them that, they know how to do that. But they don't have their own ideology because, well, that has to be fostered and encouraged in the education system if you're going to be educated and lead people. Yeah, it's the age of word salad. But I guess it started before then because, I mean, Kamala is the word salad queen. It looks like AOC is filling those boots. Wait. Hey, that's it. It went from, we're in Venezuela. And then when you leave Venezuela, you're not there. And now, so AOC, so if China was to invade Taiwan, would the U.S. be willing to commit troops into Taiwan? Well, we gotta make sure that the abilities and this can't be real. If JD runs, it's gonna be too easy. At this point, if they don't encourage Stephen A. Smith to run, I don't think they got a solid candidate. We got Newsom, but he's good at trolling. But let's face it, all you gotta do is say California in the debate, and he's gonna lose. The numbers are too much. I can't do this no more, y'all. This is hilarious, man. You can't make this stuff up. On a serious note, why is that question so hard for an American who's potentially running as president to answer? Literally, Trump just extracted a tyrant out of Venezuela. Cut off, well, basically, people sanctioned oil that was still being shipped through the seas, in particular North Atlantic. Cutting it off, even following the ships all the way to the Indian Ocean. And a lot of that's all due to the fact that the U.S. has some serious military might. Now, granted, the U.S. is in a fantastic location. It's difficult to attack. And the countries surrounding it aren't an actual threat to that degree. The countries around the U.S. are more susceptible to outside influences, but as far as military might, there's not much they could actually do. So that's two great advantages. Having a military that's powerful and strong is a fantastic investment. I know a lot of people are like, why are you spending so much on military? Well, one, you're able to protect yourselves, and two, if things outside of your country that affect your country can be affected, you can. So, why is that a hard question to answer? Well, for someone who hasn't, really thought for themselves about stuff and just went with what was, I guess, I wouldn't say fashionable, just went with the flow, so to speak, it's hard for them to answer. Because they're probably not even aware that the actual military is the reason the U.S. is powerful in the first place, and its position, obviously. So for AOC, that was a difficult question to answer. I don't know people try to say she's not dumb. She's actually really intelligent. But see, there's knowing things and there's understanding things. And you can know and repeat things, but not quite grasp them. Does that make sense? It's like with language learning. You can't do literal translations from language to language. You have to understand what a person means. Not each individual word, but the actual message itself. And that, I would say, is how politics works as well. It's to be a good leader, you have to have an interpretation and understanding of what's actually going on around you to be able to lead or make good decisions. Or your country just ends up down the toilet. And you end up with word salad candidates.